So I found something that I kind of stumbled across it. I was looking at some booster boxes that I had in stock. Then I was looking to maybe move on to eBay or something else. I was just checking the prices. And I just happened to come across, I guess, a very shallow depth to the market of two booster boxes from two different segments of the booster box era, right? So you have from Throne of Eldraine until about, I don't know, Baldur's Gate or Double Masters 2, and then from Double Masters 2 until Commander Masters, and then you have from Throne of Eldraine, Wilds of Eldraine until now. They're almost like these boxes are treated differently, like the older boxes from Throne of Eldraine till I guess Double Masters 2. They're they vary in price, but they never really went much past $500 a box for most of them until recently. Throne of Eldraine made a huge move in like a day. And then the next set of boosters from Double Masters until about Commander Masters, they are sort of all over the place because that was the era of the Amazon dumps that Wizards of the Coast was doing. So they tend to be really discounted. Both, people are discounting them in their heads as being worthless, and then also, stores discount them to move them and dump them, which is kind of why people consider that a lot of them worthless. Like especially Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt; those are the ones at the very bottom of the barrel. But even those have been making moves. So if we look at the current era, which starts from about, I guess, Wilds of Eldraine on, where people have started to really appreciate and then collect the collector boosters. Basically, they'd already kind of been on the move, and then Final Fantasy made this, this segment of the market even more desirable, and maybe some people moved in from other collectibles like Pokemon, but other areas when people took notice of this, I guess, return on investment on collector boosters. But for the most part, the ones that have been moving are the ones from Wilds of Eldraine until now, where you've got like Foundations, Tarkir Dragonstorm, and now even Assassin's Creed is on the move. I'm sure that if I look at Modern Horizons 3 collector boosters, they might be on the move at some point in time. It's hard to predict. It's based on a bunch of people noticing that maybe some of them are undervalued and then snapping them up, and then that creates sort of a wildstorm when people notice it, and then everyone else starts snapping them. So that's how the depth of the market really matters. If you look down here at Duskmourn, right, that came out after Bloomburrow and just before Foundations, and hasn't done much in a while, but it's slowly been creeping up, right? And people haven't been talking about Duskmourn collector boosters all that much. They've been mostly talking about Bloomburrow and Foundations, and obviously Final Fantasy, and even Edge of Eternities. I mean, it's the most recent, so I guess that's why it's talked about a lot, but it's the most surprising because it's been so strong since it came out, right? But Duskmourn was just a regular booster box. It didn't do terribly, it didn't do great, and it's just been slowly creeping up. But if you look at the market, like the last 6 months, it's just a steady little thing, and then a little bump recently, right? A lot of these collector boosters are showing that bump at this point in time. But then you look at how many there are available. There's 32 listings. I'm in Canada, and I have to switch over to the United States on TCG Player to see all listings, and maybe I don't think I'm missing any listings, but I think it's possible. But I switched over to the US version of TCG Player, and so it's about normal, like the 450, right? But then there's that's two boxes, right? And then it jumps up to 5 and 550, and then you keep going, right? And we have it quickly going to 600, and then it just, once it hits $600, it just climbs, right? And you've got it here 670, and then it just jumps up to 700, right? And then it quickly goes to 850. So I think it's about 4 pages, and I think I counted like about 20 boosters until it hits $900, right? And then obviously there could be other people using this and watching it as well, and then maybe they have some Duskmourn boosters that they haven't listed on TCG Player, and when it hits that thing, I mean, that usually happens when we see a huge price move. You see a lot of people then taking what they have and putting them onto the market and selling it at the new price, right? So, I doubt it's going to go to $1,500 US. It may hit that and then quickly go back down to about 1,000, but it's probably going to be similar to just under Bloomberg. That would be my guess anyway. But there's not much to Duskmourn, right? And so there's right now on eBay, I think the Duskmourn listings are much lower than the TCG Player. So I don't know, if you feel like it, snap them up on eBay and throw them onto TCG Player. Maybe that's a move. I'm not giving you advice on what to do. I'm just saying that from what I could tell, the price, there is a significant difference in price on eBay to TCG Player, but that will quickly change once people take notice, right? Now we go back to the original era, the stuff from Throne of Eldraine until Double Masters 2, and one of the worst performing of the collector boosters in that era was probably Kaldheim. Maybe probably Baldur's Gate, if we're going to go that far. Baldur's Gate probably the worst performing, and then Kaldheim and Kaldheim and Strixhaven. Strixhaven, did well at first, but then quickly people moved on from Strixhaven, and they didn't seem as interested in it. And actually, I guess the Forgotten Realms booster, the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms boosters, didn't do that great either. But anyway, Kaldheim and Strixhaven didn't do quite so well. Take a look at these Strixhaven boxes. They have very little supply, right? And they've already moved to 475 US, right? And I'm almost certain this is showing me US prices. Yeah, TCG Player always shows US prices, even if you're in Canada. They have what seems to be a very organic growth graph. They have no big jump in the last 3 months. If you look at 6 months and a year, it's just steady growth. There was a year ago in November, they took a dip down, right? I know Kaldheim collector boxes were still available at distribution. I can't remember whether Strixhaven was. I think they were. I think I bought one at some point in 2023 or 2024. Anyway, they don't have them anymore. And what's wild is that there's only 11 listings, right? And it quickly jumps, right? From 475 quickly into the 500s, right? And then within a page, it's at $1,000. And the second page then quickly gets you to, $9.99 US. And that's wild. Strixhaven goes there, and then there are no more Strixhaven on TCG Player, and I don't know that there's many of them on eBay. Some stores still have them. At least some of the bigger stores in Canada, I think there's still some Strixhaven, or maybe that was the one with one box, right? And then I don't know, but US stores might still have some, but those things are going to move, and then I don't know, maybe someone will make shocking videos about the movement of Strixhaven, or maybe only the people that will notice it are these groups of people that are quickly snapping up collector booster boxes, right? And only a few people have talked about this, there's individuals and then groups of individuals, who might just be friends and talking about it, and they collect together. There could be something akin to a consortium, maybe, that maybe discusses things on, secret Discord channels, or maybe it's just people, reading Reddit and people posting about, oh, this box move, oh, this box move. And then those people in their head are like, well, if these boxes are moving, then all the boxes are going to be moving. And I think that's the greatest part of the movement, is that everybody realizes that these collector boosters are on the move, right? And a lot of people also realized they were underpriced, a year ago. And people have slowly been adding the booster boxes to whatever it is that they want, whether they leave them sealed and have a position in them, or whether they're just saving them for a rainy day when they want to open them, or they're looking. I don't think there's a lot of people looking to flip them. I think a lot of people are looking to hold on to them. I mean, maybe there's quite a few people looking to flip the newest ones, but I don't think that people are going back to flip the oldest ones. It's possible. I mean, you could do that with both Strixhaven, Duskmourn, conceivably. It's not something I would do because, you know, the maybe the downside risk isn't as much as I think it is, but it's just that it already has this upside. And yeah, sure, you see the depth of the market and it disappears, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen. And the market is going to stay in a bull market. This, as long as it's already been 2 years of a bull market, and the strongest part of it for a year. And it may go to the end of the year. That's what I think, but there's no guarantee of that. And if things shift, then you're stuck with, having spent $600 on a booster box that then is now at $400, right? Rudy says that most of these booster boxes are $300 to $500 booster boxes, and a lot of them are $1,000 booster boxes. And then, of course, the special cases like Final Fantasy and the special holiday edition of Lord of the Rings are, in the $3,000 or more boxes, and then some other ones are anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000. A very small number, select few, but most of the recent ones are the ones that are going to be 500 to 1,000, and the earliest ones probably are also going to be 500 to 1,000, but it doesn't look like it because people haven't realized how little of them are left. Things like Strixhaven, things like Kaldheim, even Zendikar Rising and stuff like that. People have forgotten about those things, but they slowly started to remember when you saw Throne of Eldraine move. And I expect Strixhaven will move similar to that. And then the ones that'll probably stay closer to $300 are probably the ones like the Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt, the Brothers War, the Phyrexia All We Won, those kind of booster boxes, because those were in the Amazon dumps era. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I wanted to share my screen. I haven't done a screen sharing video before, and I wanted to test out that editing. And also, that's really the only way to explain the depth of the market on TCG Player. And hopefully this helps you, and maybe let me know what you think in the comments below, what decision you would make based on this information, and where you think the market's going. Have a good day.